RX for Wood Floors provides everything you need to efficiently refinish the floor in 3 simple steps. The steps? Applying a no sanding abrasion formula, making any necessary repairs, and applying the finish. There will be some necessary prep work to do before you begin. First, remove all furniture. Make sure all drapery is up and out of the way. Next, sweep the floor, then vacuum thoroughly. All dirt and grit must be removed so it does not get ground into the floor by the buffer. Finally, mask off any flooring that is not going to be treated, and where appropriate, protect any wallpaper or carpet near the floor level to protect it from the buffer. Step 1 achieves 2 important results. It eliminates the contaminants that may prevent adhesion, like grease from the kitchen or oil tracked in from the garage. And secondly, it etches the surface of the old floor finish so that the final protective coat in Step 3 has something to grip. This step is a huge benefit to you. It means that you can achieve a superior finish without having to sand. Step 1. Apply the Step 1 formula using the scrubbing pad around the edges of the floor and then the buffer in the central part of the floor. One tip, it's easier when you edge the room first, then buff. Use a mop and clean water to remove Step 1 completely from the floor. Then allow the floor to dry thoroughly. You'll probably want to use a fan to accelerate the drying time.
You don't dilute that at all, you put down straight.
This is straight.
That's how you always do it.
Straight.
Get sodium hydroxide or mass.
You need very little of the Step 1. Very little.
Ridiculous.
The reason why they have the sprinkling can is so that you don't put too much down. Very little, then you're just going to just lightly go over it. And this here is just clean.
Good job.
Now you notice there's some black on this floor where someone got some scuff marks. I'm going over it. Notice how dirty this floor is. This floor should have been vacuumed and dusted first.
Now if that hazes up and dries on you, you have to go back over and Step 1 again? Or can you just get away with rinsing it?
You could usually get away with rinsing it, but sometimes you do got to go over Step 1. That's why it's a 2-person job, because the second person would be going and mopping it up on me so it doesn't dry.
With that regular mop?
With that mop. I prefer the person coming behind with the machine. And the reason why I prefer them coming behind with the machine, they flush all this stuff away much easier.
Basically suck it up.
You got it. They're spraying some clean solution down. They're getting it all out for me. Now, this floor I'm going over a little more than you would normally have to, because this one here has a lot of debris on it.
You're just going under your floor.
I need just a little more juice. The edges, you don't have to do hard. You just like going over it.
That'll be my job. Do a giant fire.
The edges aren't bad, you just gotta get the dirt out.
That's it, all you're doing is getting the dirt on it.
And the chemical's doing its own etching.
Now you see sometimes what you think is soil or someone walking on it is actually the natural wood. Not in the wood. Yeah, that's true. That corner you would need to use a scraper. If you look at one corner there, you'll see where there's a lot of stuff caked in. Yeah,
Shut back over.
You just clear rinse this?
Just clear rinse it.
Triple ring method.
And you say you're using a rayon mop?
You should use a rayon now.
That's cotton, right?
Hot rayon, cotton. And probably should always use a new one too. Or have one you just use for wood floors.
Exactly. One for just wood floors, definitely.
You're working with a lot of scratches.
A lot of scratches. This is
what can you use to gauge an acceptable, okay, I'll stop?
when you get a lot of scratches, start with a 150. You might think the scratches are deep, but after you go over it, you'll be like, my gosh, I took care of all those scratches. I don't have to go deeper. You might think the scratches are deep, but after you go over it, you'll be like, my gosh, I took care of all those scratches. I don't have to go deeper.
So pretty much until they're almost gone.
So it looks good.
Look at that thing, man.
You make it lovely again.
You know how hard I worked on that? You see how it's cutting the finish right off?
You know that dust going on?
That's why you have someone vacuum.
Repairs are the next step.